Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida,
Mm-hmm.
IBB, as most people know him by.
Yeah.
And we're going to be taking a look at this celebratory text that was released on his 82nd birthday.
Okay.
So, it's going to be pretty glowing, but I think there's a lot we can unpack here
For sure.
about his legacy and his impact on Nigeria today.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I found really fascinating right off the bat was just how much this source focused on IBB's role in state creation.
Yeah.
Like 11 states were created during his time in
Frick,
office.
it's 11. That's huge. I mean, think about it. You're redrawing the political map of the entire country you're talking about.
Yeah.
New boundaries, power dynamics, who gets what resources. I mean, it's a complete reshaping of the political landscape.
Yeah. Abia, Yobe Katsina, Taraba Jigawa, Kebbi Enugu Edo, Delta Osun Akwa Ibom.
Wow.
Like, it's incredible, the scope of these changes.
Right, and it really makes you ask, okay, was this just about administrative efficiency, or were there other motivations at play? Yeah.
Exactly. Like, was it purely practical, or were there
Yeah.
deeper political calculations going on?
Well, in state creation, it's interesting because it can be a double-edged sword.
Right.
Like, on one hand, it can be a way to bring government closer to the people to, address regional imbalances. But it also has the potential to create new tensions, especially in a country as diverse as Nigeria.
Yeah.
So you have to ask, did these new states, did they actually ease ethnic tensions, or did they make them worse?
Like, were things more equitable, or were they...
Exactly.
Yeah, just sort of different configurations of power.
Different configurations,
Yeah.
yeah. And did it lead to fairer resource distribution, or did it just create, new centers of political power,
Yeah. And are those tensions still playing out today?
Absolutely they are. Yeah, that's a great point.
And speaking of things that have a lasting impact,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't talk about IBB without talking about infrastructure,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
right? I mean, the source really highlights some of his big projects, like the Third Mainland Bridge, for example.
Right, connecting Lagos Island to the mainland.
Yeah, just an incredible feat of engineering, and also like a symbol of progress, connecting people and possibilities.
And a symbol of his ambition, too. I mean, it's a huge project.
Yeah.
And then you have the Shiroro Hydroelectric Power Station, another massive project trying to boost Nigeria's energy capacity.
Yeah, these weren't just isolated projects either. It seems like there was a
vision.
Yeah, a vision behind it.
A vision of modernization, right? Bringing Nigeria into the...
Yeah, onto the global stage.
Yeah, exactly.
But IBB's legacy, it's more than just bridges and power stations, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the source also mentions all these institutions that he created.
Yeah.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, the SSS, the NIA, the DIA.
I mean, those are some of the most powerful institutions in the country today.
Right. They play a huge role in maintaining security and gathering intelligence.
Absolutely. And it really reflects IBB's focus on, consolidating power and control.
Yeah, like how much power should the government have, right?
Yeah.
And how much individual freedom are people willing to give up in exchange for security?
Right. That's the classic dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's the whole economic side of things, too.
Mm-hmm.
The source talks about prompt salary payments,
Yeah.
fuel subsidies, a strong Naira.
It paints a rosy picture,
But it does. It paints a picture of economic stability,
right?
even.
Prosperity.
Yeah, prosperity. But we have to remember the context,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Context is key.
I mean, Nigeria was dealing with oil price fluctuations, a growing debt burden during IEB's time.
Right. So were these policies really successful, or were they just kind of kicking the can down the road, so to speak?
Yeah. Did they actually lay the foundation for sustainable growth?
Yeah. Or were they more about short-term gains and, political maneuvering?
Well, and the source makes this really bold claim.
Yeah.
It says that in just 8 years, IBB achieved feats unmatched by 24 years of democracy.
Whoa.
Like, how do you even...
how do you even measure that?
Yeah, what are the metrics?
Yeah. Are we just talking about projects completed, or are we talking about
Yeah.
economic growth, social progress, human rights?
The health of democratic institutions. Like, how do you compare those things?
Exactly. It's really comparing apples and oranges, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's where we're left with this, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We've explored state creation, massive infrastructure projects, the establishment of all these really powerful institutions and economic policies that had, ripple effects throughout the country.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear that IBB left a really complex and multifaceted legacy.
He did. There's no question about it.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge.
It is.
To look beyond sort of the celebratory narrative and really delve into those complexities.
Yeah, sure.
To consider the voices that might be missing from this particular source
Right.
and seek out a more complete understanding of, what his influence was on Nigeria.
Exactly.
What were the potential downsides to some of his policies?
Yeah, who benefited and who might have been marginalized.
All right, those are the questions that we want our listeners to keep thinking about.
Absolutely. Keep digging, explore different perspectives, and come to your own conclusions.
Exactly. That's what this is all about.
Right.